Friends, welcome to the notices for the 26th of July 2020, and today is the 25th of July. It's the Saturday where we're pre-recording the notices for our Sunday service. Reese is my name, and I've got Sam here with me. Sam, how are you going?
Good, thanks, Reese. It's been good week this week. How's your week been for you?
Yeah. It's been going really well. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. What have you been sort of like reflecting and thinking about this week?
Yeah, so I've been reading this book. It's kind of been a slow burn, but it's getting a bit quicker now. It's called Reset by David Murray, and I just read a chapter on recreation. And so his whole premise is that there are so many pastors out there who have been burnt out and they need to look after themselves now before it's too late. And his point on recreation has just really been challenging for me. He actually used 1 Corinthians as part of the premise for why we need to look after ourselves and enjoy some time doing things we love. So I've been cycling a fair bit this week, and I'm trying to keep cycling, 4 or 5 days a week, just to keep me energized. So that's been a really fun sort of thing to reflect on for nice. Pastoral care for me.
Sounds helpful too for like everyone, basically. Like
it is. Yeah,
not just pastors, right?
He writes it kind of for pastors, but kind of just for Christians as well, who just work too hard. So yeah, it's definitely it's Reset by David Murray. It's a pretty good book. Yeah. Awesome. What about you, Sam? What have you been reflecting on this week?
Yeah, I've been enjoying my quiet times reading the Bible. Particularly, I've been reading through 2 Corinthians. So we finished 1 Corinthians, so I thought, why not hit 2 Corinthians, right?
Yep.
I've just been really enjoying the opening chapters of 2 Corinthians talk about God being the God of all comfort, and who comforts us in our weakness and in our suffering, and just in this time, like that's very comforting to know that God is there to comfort us when times are tough. Paul sort of reflects on his own suffering and struggles, and sort of says, this was to help me learn to rely on God more later on there in chapter 1. And so I was just struck that actually God sometimes uses hard times to help us to remember that we rely on God in the midst of everything, and it's God who provides for us, who looks after us. So yeah, I was really encouraged by that this week.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Sam. Now, Sam, what notices have you got for us today?
Yeah, so the first one is just to let you know that coming up in only about just over a week now, a Monday week. The first Monday in August, we've got the marriage course coming up, and there's a slide coming up on your screen just with some details of the Alpha Marriage course that we're going to be running for 7 Mondays, starting in the first Monday in August. And it's definitely not too late to sign up for that. So send an email through to the office at info@berwick-anglican-church.org.au, and we'll pass on some further details about that course. But it is 7 weeks, and it's just designed to really strengthen your marriage, and it'll help anyone's marriage, basically, and just give you space and time to talk with one another as a couple, and build on some foundations that you already have, but build some more foundations into your marriage that are going to last you for your whole life. So I really encourage you, have a think about it. It's for everyone and anyone, and most of the time you're just going to be talking with your couple, as a couple I mean, with your spouse. And so, come expecting just to spend time talking with each other. You don't have to share things with others. And it should be a good time for everyone who comes along, I reckon. Yeah,
sounds excellent. Elise and I are going to be doing it this year, and Monday's usually my day off, but we're just going to treat it like a date night. So we're looking forward to having a date night for the next 7 weeks.
That's a great way to approach it.
Thank you very much, Sam.
And what about you, Reese? What's happening for you this semester?
Yeah, so with Academy Youth, we are going to be meeting again over Zoom for Term 3. The details are now released on our webpage, on the youth part of our webpage. Basically, we're going to be running Youth Alpha throughout Term 3, and if we have to meet through Zoom again in Term 4, we'll continue with Youth Alpha in Term 4 as well. But basically, we feel like this is going to be a really wonderful time. Because we're apart, why don't we just rediscover some of the core truths of the gospel? And so we've decided that Youth Alpha is going to help us do that online. It's got really wonderful content for individual online, and actually before COVID, people were running it online already. So I think this is going to be a bit of a win. The way that it's structured is really great too, and I think it's going to help because our youth are online doing school all week. So we want to get to the end of the week and just kind of feel refreshed and rejuvenated and energized being at youth. And Alpha's going to help us with that because they have 20 minutes or so videos and they have like 5 minutes of content, and then you take a break and you chat for 5 to 10 minutes and then you go back. And so I think that's going to work really well for us, especially in our COVID season, but also just to rediscover the core truths of the gospel and of what it means to be a Christian. So that's what we're coming up. We actually start on the 31st of July, and we actually don't start with Youth Alpha. We're going to do a social event called Mafia, which is one of our youth favourites. One of our favourites too. Sam, you and I have played Mafia.
I remember many a
way
fun
back.
night playing Mafia.
Yeah.
Good
So
times.
31st of July, all the details are on our website, and we open the room at 6:50, but we officially kick off at 7 p.m. Friday nights, beginning the 31st of July.
Awesome. Sounds great, Reese. Well, brothers and sisters, it's been a wonderful joy this morning to serve you and worship together. As we come to the end of our service, let me encourage you to continue serving one another this week in whatever that might look like.